"They're going to kill us in some way," Carlos Alcaraz said last year, referring to the relentless tennis schedule. Fast forward to 2025, and the scenes at the Shanghai Masters seem to prove his point, dramatic or not. What unfolded there was a clear case of burnout and fatigue, and many players didn't shy away from saying so. Among them was Draper, whose promising run was cut short by a shoulder injury that ended his season right after the US Open. Still, the Brit remains optimistic that the ATP will eventually address the sport's grueling calendar. For now, Draper's focus is on what players themselves can do to rest properly and protect their bodies from further risk. Speaking on the tennis podcast recently, Draper urged his peers to take action rather than just vent their frustrations. "You'll hear people say we're in a prime position, and I totally understand that. We earn a lot of money. We are in a very good situation. We practice a job that we like, but can this sport be improved? Yes, it's possible," he said. And then he pointed toward what he believes is the real solution. He noted, "I think it is now up to the players to stop talking about it all the time and take action, to show up, talk about it, discuss it with the director of the ATP and organizations, and really find solutions." For someone who's already spoken out about the ATP's brutal schedule, saying, "Injuries are going to happen. We are pushing our bodies to do things they aren't supposed to in elite sport," the world's number 11 admits he hasn't seen much change. And that's exactly what he wants to fix. At just 23, British number 1 Draper has already shut down his season following his US Open exit, prioritizing longevity over short-term gains. "We have so many incredible younger guys on the tour right now, and I'm proud to be a part of that. However, the tour and the calendar have to adapt if any of us are going to achieve some sort of longevity," he said. World number 5 Taylor Fritz also backed Draper's point with refreshing honesty. Why, you ask? Facts, also seeing more injuries and burnout now than ever before because balls, courts, conditions have slowed down a lot, making the weekly grind even more physically demanding and tough on the body, Fritz said. Fritz's comments came after his third-place win over Novak Djokovic at the Six Kings Slam in Saudi Arabia, a match that ended early when even the legendary Serb was forced to retire after one set. Interestingly, Djokovic himself echoed that same message during a pre-tournament press conference at the Shanghai Masters, urging players to come together if they truly want change. Draper is echoing Novak Djokovic's call for player action. Novak Djokovic, who has spent over 2 decades competing at the highest level, believes the real issue lies in the lack of unity among players. "The players are not united enough, and players are not participating enough when they should be," he said. According to Djokovic, too many players complain about problems but rarely follow through. "They make the comments, and they complain, and then they go away," he added, stressing that lasting change requires real involvement, not just talk. He explained that players need to take matters into their own hands rather than rely on their agents or teams. "You have to invest the time. You have to invest the energy yourself," Djokovic said earlier. For him, it's about understanding how the system works and what can be changed or improved to protect players' interests. Without that effort, he believes the cycle of frustration and inaction will just continue. Djokovic also made it clear that leadership from the sport's biggest names is crucial. "You need the top players to sit down, roll up their sleeves, and really care a bit more," he urged. Speaking out in the media, he said, might draw attention, but in the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. So drawing from his own experience, Djokovic emphasized that meaningful progress will only come when players truly commit to being part of the solution. That said, is the growing injury list proof that tennis needs a major overhaul in how tournaments are structured?